I believe it's like an EPA per carry. I think Georgia's 3 and Auburn's 2 on defenses here. These are two elite defenses at stopping the run. The interesting thing for me, Dan, is like you come into this game if you're Auburn and you say, we need to run the ball, but you're not playing a team that's like easy to run the ball against. And my big key in this game for Auburn, I think, is like, do you fall into the trap of looking at Georgia and saying, well, they're not getting to the quarterback very effectively. Yeah, they've got some issues in their secondary. Do you still think with this offense, do you all right, go throw after the last 2 weeks that had really backfired on you? This is a game to get back towards running the football. I don't think it's going to be overly successful. The best team running the ball against Georgia this season was Tennessee, and it was like 3.5 yards a carry. Like, it's not going to be something that you necessarily want to do to get like a ton of success, but you can't keep living the way they've been doing on third downs. This Georgia defense gave up a good bit of third downs against Alabama. Tennessee had a decent amount of success. Kentucky didn't, but I think Kentucky's just not going to be successful against anybody this year on offense. But one of the things that struck me, and like Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong here, go back to that Bama game. It wasn't necessarily the fact that like Georgia gave up all those third downs. It's like Bama was never really behind the chains. They converted some longer ones, but most of it was manageable. And it wasn't like they were hitting a ton of huge first down plays on Georgia, but it was like, all right, it's 3rd and 5, it's 2nd and 7. That's to me seems to be like, if you're playing a team that is struggling, quote unquote, by Georgia standards in pass defense, the last thing you want to do is make sure they get opportunities to be in the easiest situations to get off the field on third down, which has been 3rd and long. They've been really good, it looks like, in 3rd and longs, like a lot of defenses have. It's the medium stuff, so it's like, does Auburn get, seduced by the numbers in this game, and Hugh Freeze go back to his ways of which he's done these last few weeks of throw it with a group and an offense that's just not built to drop back that many times?
No, and I think the Alabama game example is a good one. And you go back and watch Ty Simpson in that game, and especially the first half. I mean, a lot of it boiled down to Georgia was sitting back in zone, and when you don't get that quarterback pressure, it's just too easy. He dissected Georgia and had a few explosive throws along the way, but it was mostly just moving the chains, like you said. So, yeah, it's interesting to me what exactly Auburn does as far as running the football. I mean, like you said, Georgia's done a good job of stuffing the run. Alabama really wasn't able to get a ton going with Jam Miller. Really, their most successful drive running the football was the very last drive, and by that point, I think the Georgia defense was winded. Georgia needed a stop and couldn't get it. So, yeah, that part of it does fascinate me, just with what Auburn has in the running back room and its failures the last few weeks. You can still run the ball more than you have, especially on those early downs, like you said, because if the Georgia defense is in like a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, they're more gettable than if you get in those 3rd and longs. And, I think it goes to the equation, part of the equation with Auburn with this offensive line and holding up against Georgia and giving Jackson Arnold the time he would need to throw and get those conversions to try to keep these drives alive.
It starts at the very top, though. It starts with what Hugh Freeze wants this offense to be. And we love to mix metaphors from other sports on the Observer. And I've sort of likened Hugh Freeze to the boxer that always wants to go to the chin, right? He doesn't want to throw body shots, even if those body shots could pay off down the line. You're probably not going to win the fight with a well-placed body shot in the first couple of rounds, but it could make